Time to put out the solar panel. Time to put out the solar panel. No! No! So why can't I get a hard-sided waterproof solar panel? Why? What? A gift from the BougeRV? What? Does this mean I'm now a member of the BougeRV? I think I need some bubbly. Ah, yes. The decadent life of hard-sided waterproof solar panels and bubbly. Whew. Thank you, BougeRV. Ah, nice. Wait a minute. I am a proud member of the Prola-trailer-iot. I can't be bought off so easy. Darn you, BougeRV. Yes, power to the Prola-trailer-iot and our eternal struggle for level parking spots. Yes. All right, let's get serious and to pull out this solar panel here and take a look at it. I have never been a fan of floppy solar panels simply because of all of the anecdotal stories I've heard of them failing. And now, of course, I have my own anecdotal story because I've had 2 of these floppy solar panels fail right in about a year's time. And that's a serious bummer. Well, let's take this out of the box and see what we got here. All right, as you can see, it has a nice protective carrying case. All right, it has a nice little protective cover and a nice little handle here. This is really lightweight. It weighs just a tad over 10 pounds. This is a folding panel and it has these little twist clips to hold it together. And it has an extra cord. This is MC4 to 8mm connector. The 8mm is the standard connector pretty much for most power stations, and the MC4 connectors on the panel itself are actually the standard connectors for solar panels. This is nice. All right, this is day 2 Bex. I'm interrupting from yesterday because I figured out the leg situation. So I was having problems because, well, the legs weren't connected at the bottom. This morning when I took the panel out, I found the little screws, the little hex bolts that are supposed to connect the bottom, and I connected them and put them together. So now the legs are working, and yeah, that is a huge, huge improvement. So the legs are working now. I don't have complaints about the legs anymore. All right, here are my very first impressions setting it up. First off, it's hard-sided, which I really like a lot more because, well, I have another hard-sided panel I bought over 5 years ago, and it is going strong. And I just think that the hard-sided panels last longer. And I've heard that, obviously, anecdotally from others as well. Second thing, it's waterproof. It's got the IP67 rating. Woohoo! I don't know what that is, I really don't. But it is waterproof, and I don't have to worry about if it's going to sprinkle or not. The second thing I really think is cool is that it's got these MC4 connectors. These MC4 connectors are the standard connector for solar panels. So obviously they were thinking that, you could do anything with this. You could use it as kind of a more permanent thing, or just set it out. But yeah, the MC4 connectors are nice. And of course it came with this attachment for an 8mm plug, which is the standard plug on a lot of power stations. So I have two different brands of power stations, and they both have this 8mm plug. So right off the bat, it's plug and play for me. So both of my power stations also have an Anderson connector. If you look here, right next to the 8mm plug is the Anderson connector. And I did a search on Amazon for MC4 to Anderson connector. And yeah, there were several. And I tried to buy one, and unfortunately, they were like, oh, it's not going to come for over 2 weeks. And yeah, that's Amazon these days. So, and another thing I like about this panel is it's 120 watts versus 100 watts. A lot of the panels these days seem to be 100 watts, but both of my power stations say they can take two 100-watt panels, which means they can take 200 watts. Although they don't seem to use all 200 or whatever it puts out, it only takes right about 120 watts. Yeah, I'm really curious to see how much this will put out, so let's plug it in really quick. So right now, I have my power station here plugged into another 100-watt floppy panel, and as you can see, it is putting out about 77, 75 watts, kind of bouncing around. So yeah, let's plug in the BougeRV and see what we get. All right, just plugged it in, and we're getting, well, 95, 97. Yeah, it's bouncing around between 95 and 97. That's, wow, that's like 20, well, yeah, it is 20 watts more. I have them both tipped up into the winter sun, so they're both should be getting about as max as what they would get. All right, day 2 Bex, once more interrupting. I just wanted to say that this morning when I plugged in the panel to the charging station, it was consistently putting out between like 100 and 103 watts. And yeah, I am very happy with that. That is so much more than any of those other 100-watt standard panels I had were putting out. So yep, very happy with that one. So another thing about this solar panel is that it is a 9BB solar panel, where apparently most solar panels are 5BBs. Now, you might be wondering why you just don't turn the 5BB up louder, but this one goes up to 9BB. Okay, I don't really know what 9BB means, but I have the owner's manual here, and it says that this has a longer service life because 9BB cell reduces internal resistance loss, better light receiving areas because the 9BB uses thinner ribbon. And the other thing is the solar cell efficiency is 23.5 on this, 23.5. And I looked at my other solar panel and it was like at 22%. So it's a little more efficiency. Again, I don't really know what that means, but hey, they're improving. Yeah, this solar panel is also very lightweight. It weighs just a tad over 10 pounds. By comparison, my other hard-sided 100-watt panel definitely weighs over 20 pounds. It's more than double this weight. That's kind of a plus and a minus. For me, I always lay my panels flat because here in the desert, the wind just picks up out of nowhere and it'll carry that 25-pound panel like 20 feet and just throw it off in the bushes. So I leave them flat so that the wind doesn't catch them and pick them up and throw them away. My overall impression of this panel is that I really like it. I like that it's hard-sided and hopefully will last a lot longer. And I really like that it's waterproof, so I can leave it out even if it rains a little bit. I don't have to worry about it. I like that it's 120 watts. Both of my power stations, they're two different brands, but they can each take two 100-watt panels, so up to 200 watts. I never really liked having to go out and put out two different panels in order to maximize the amount of power going into it. If you're going to plug this into your power station, make sure to check that it can take a 120 watt panel. Some can take a maximum of a 100 watt panel, and you don't want to destroy your power station. So I just checked right now on Amazon, and the price for this panel is $240, like $239.99. And my other 100 watt hard-sided panel was like $250. So not only is this a little bit cheaper, but it also is 20 watts more, 20% more power. So would I recommend this? Yeah, I would. And I really like, again, the MC4 connectors. So what I'd really like is to have a single panel that can power both my power stations and my house battery. And with the MC4 connector, I think I can get an MC4 connector that can plug directly into my charge controller for my house battery. And then I could just plug and unplug the different wires for the different attachments. And then, yeah, just have a single solar panel for everything. That would be great. Well, all right. I guess it's that time of the day to get all bougie, huh? All right. Oh, yeah. Woof. That's beautiful. You know what we say here at BougeRV? Keep your pinky in the air and your rubber on the ground. Woo! Ah! All right, that is not their tagline. I just made that up. But it should be. No filet mignon for me tonight, though. Just be heating up a can of chili. Because I'm still a member of the Prola-trailer-iot. Yes, the Prola-trailer-iot. The Prola-trailer-iot? Yeah, that's it. Yes. Yes, power to the Prola-trailer-iot. And more level parking spots for the people. Ah, good stuff. Martinelli's. Woof. You make some good stuff. Yeah.